Hey, let's go, Rappler. Come on. Nagkatampuhan, nagkasakitan, wala nang bago. Nakakaumay itong eksena, kailan ba tayo? Puro nabighati, nating ibalik. Huwag nating pahirapan, mamakawan ako sa'yo. Sige na please naman. Hey! Natamba ulit na nasinta. Gusto mo pa ba o ayaw mo na ba o huwag mo kong gawing tanga. Puso ko lito, isip ko nung gulo na pupuno na tama na. Gusto mo pa ba o ayaw mo na ba o napupuno na tama na. Puro napikati, nating ibalik. Huwag nating pahirapan, mamakawan ako sa'yo. Sige na please naman, yeah. Ulit na nasinta. Ulit na. Hey, umiikot lang ang takbo ng kwento, walang patutunguhan. Hanggang kailan kaya ang larong ito? Wala sa ating nanalo, dahil pa ulit-ulit na. Hey, hey, yeah. Hey, ulit na. Hey, hey, hey. Gusto mo pa ba o ayaw mo na ba o huwag mo kong gawing tanga. Ulit-ulit.
Hi everyone, good evening. I'm Margarita Leon and welcome to the latest episode of Rappler Live Jam. That song you just heard was Ulit-Ulit by our guest tonight, Jason D. Welcome back, Jason.
Hello, Marge. Thank you so much for having me here tonight.
Of course. So we can't help but notice that the song is different from your previous music. It's like more upbeat, more disco pop. So what inspired you to experiment with your sound at this point in your career?
Yeah, with this release, I really wanted to try something new, something that I haven't done before. I think people are more used to me doing ballads and more slower, more mid-tempo stuff. But I really want to switch things up a bit for this release, and I've been very inspired by a lot of disco music, as you've mentioned earlier. So, the disco revival that's happening in the zeitgeist right now, I'm really inspired by that. So, artists like Bruno Mars with Silk Sonic and Dua Lipa and everybody's doing disco pop right now. I wanted to ride the wave and I wanted to put my own spin on it. And with this song specifically, I've written this song many years ago already. So probably 2017. And I've always wanted to release it, but I think probably the timing wasn't right, and things happened along the way. Actually, I wanted to release it probably 2 years ago, but there's this little thing called COVID-19 that happened.
Yeah, what is that?
I'm not sure if you guys are aware that there was a global pandemic, but yeah, I think it really boiled down to the perfect timing and everything fell into place because I got to work with the right arranger, the right music producer for the song, and the sound finally made sense for me, and it made sense for the song.
Right. I mean, I love the look. I mean, all
Thank
the
you.
puffer jacket, the silver. Like, it's also a new look then for you in that sense, right?
Yeah, well, tonight I wanted to be a little Y2K, a little millennial, a
Yeah.
little NSYNC slash Backstreet Boys, turn of
Tama.
the millennium. Kasi sobrang init sa Manila ngayon. Gusto ko sanang medyo lamigin tayo ngayong gabi.
True. And
So,
anyway, frozen tundra naman ng office ng Rappler. So,
yes.
sakto lang naman.
Sakto.
So, Ulit-Ulit is, it will be part of an EP. Is that right? So, can you tell us more about that EP?
Yes, this is the first single out of the EP, which is coming sometime this year. I'm not sure when yet, but we're working on it. It's my first release under Star Music, ABS-CBN Music, and I've always wanted to work with him, and finally it happened, it materialized. I'm very excited for this EP because the majority of the songs in it are written by myself. I've written the majority of the songs, but I'm also collaborating with other artists as well. So yeah, it's very different from the Jason D that they've heard before, and I really wanted to experiment sonically and theme-wise, concept-wise with the song. And some of the songs I've written years and years ago. Nasa banko lang siya. It's in my notes app or my voice memos, and finally it's coming to life and it's starting to take form. So yeah, I'm very excited for this EP.
Could you tease us with like who you'll be collaborating with in the
I'm definitely collaborating with Sir Jonathan Manalo, a really amazing songwriter. We're working on a couple of songs right now, writing. I actually just did a collaboration with him for his anniversary release, his 20th year. I did a song for him called Paano Ko Sasabihin. And it's out now. But yeah, more songwriter collaborations, like in terms of like the songwriting process.
Awesome. So talagang artistic collaboration.
Yes.
Okay, so speaking of artistic collaborations, we're gonna go into your next song, Gusto Ko Pa. So before we get into the actual song, what is it about?
Yes, Gusto Ko Pa. I released this at the height of the pandemic, 2020. It was going to be released in the week na nag-announce na.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it had to be moved a couple of weeks para lang maging, safe and everything's, it's okay now to release new music at that time. So it came out October, I think, 2020. This is also a song that I've written long ago. It's about, when you're in a relationship, it's almost kind of like when you're in a toxic relationship and you can't get out of it, and you're just it's like a cautionary tale because I wouldn't advise the people to just do as I say, not as I sing. Kumbaga, wag niyo sundan yung message ng kanta kasi hindi siya maganda. But yeah, parang kahit masyadong masochistic yung kahit sinasaktan ka na, kahit so sobrang pagmamahal mo dun sa tao that you forget to think of yourself and your sanity, and you're so willing to give everything you have for that person. Hindi ka na nagtitira sa sarili mo, which is not healthy, it's not advisable because you always have to choose yourself. But
Right.
when I was writing the song, I was in that headspace, and I had to get out of that rut. So one thing that helped me to get out of that was to write the song down and get it out of my system. So
Okay.
yeah, a lot of people surprisingly resonated with the song and told me, "Oh yeah, I've been there. I've gone through that situation." So yeah, very
Okay,
proud of it.
hashtag relatable content.
Yeah, mismo.
Okay, so let's listen to Jason's Pandemic Baby, Gusto Ko Pa.
Thank you guys. Parang tanga, naniniwala pa rin sa'yo. Alam ko na sinusukuan mo lang ako. Kahit hindi ka nakikiramdam, kahit wala ka ng pakialam, mahal pa rin kita. Gusto gusto ko pa kahit nasasaktan na, handang masaktan para lang sa'yo. Hihintayin hanggang sa huli, pag-ibig kong di mo kayang isukli. Kahit masakit, gusto ko pa. Di ko alam kung saan ako nagkamali. Sinasaktan ko lang ang aking sarili. Hindi na natuto sa nakaraan, ikaw pa rin ang binabalikan. Mahal pa rin kita. Gusto ko pa kahit na ayaw mo na, kahit niloloko mo lang ako. Gusto ko pa kahit nasasaktan na, handang masaktan para lang sa'yo. Hintayin hanggang sa huli, pag-ibig kong di mo kayang isukli. Kahit masakit, gusto ko pa. Gusto ko pa. Susunugin ang sarili para lang mailawan ka. Iaalay aking buhay, wag ka lang mawawala. Gusto ko pa kahit na ayaw mo na, kahit niloloko mo lang ako. Gusto ko pa kahit nasasaktan na, handang masaktan para lang sa'yo. Hintayin hanggang sa huli, pag-ibig kong di mo kayang isukli. Kahit masakit, gusto ko pa. Oh, oh, gusto ko pa. Yeah, gusto ko pa. Susunugin ang sarili para lang mailawan ka. Mahal pa rin kita.
If you're just tuning in, that was Jason D with Gusto Ko Pa. Oh my God, the feels, ang sakit.
Sorry
I'm
na,
sure
sorry na.
a lot of people, yeah, you're right. A lot of people would probably be able to relate to that. Okay, so let's get into the rest of the questions.
Yes.
You recently marked your 8 years in the
Yes.
industry. That's a long time. So, off the top of your head, could you point out maybe a favorite moment in those past 8 years?
Ooh, a favorite moment. I think for me personally, because I've always been a huge fan of ASAP natin to, ASAP. Growing up, I've always watched every Sunday, like with the family, having lunch, watching ASAP and seeing all the performers, some of my idols that I've looked up ever since I was little. So when I was officially part of ASAP natin to, it's like a full circle moment because dati pinapanood ko lang tong mga to eh. And ngayon, I get to work with them every Sunday now. And yung mga idol ko dati, I consider my friends as well. So, yeah, probably one moment that I can't forget was my first ever ASAP performance. And then, yeah, just the fact that I get to work with them on a weekly basis. And I have their numbers now. They're my friends. it's quite. If I could tell my younger self, like the young Jason D, that you're gonna be on ASAP one day, like I wouldn't believe myself. But yeah, it's really a full circle moment for me.
Who was like the first ASAP star na sobrang na starstruck ka when you first met him or her?
Oh, perhaps see, even though like she's my coach on The Voice, every time I see her up till now, si Sarah nasa starstruck pa rin talaga ako. Pag nakikita ko siya, parang hindi ko, I don't know how to act, I don't know what to say to her. She really has that, she has that aura, she has that presence na talagang she's very aspirational and very inspirational. So, probably si Sarah. Kasi sinasabi ko, grabe nasa starstruck pa rin ako sa ita. I tell her this, I'm still starstruck every time I see you. So, yeah, si Sarah.
Okay, so clearly you've achieved a lot na over the past 8 years. Pero what's in store for your future? What are your next goals?
Next goals, just release a lot more music. I feel like right now I've built this confidence within myself to trust my songwriting skills, because before I've suffered from like imposter syndrome and being insecure with my songwriting. But now I've built the confidence to release the music that I've written years and years before. So more music for me, from me definitely. I would like to, now that it's safer now to go out into the world and travel again, syempre I'd like to go back to traveling and perform for our fellow Filipinos and other international audiences again. So yeah, more travels, more shows. I would like to mount another solo concert sana, hopefully soon, if God willing. Yeah, just literally my main goal is just to release a lot more music this year.
Speaking of that, actually, the last time you were with us, it was a Zoom
Yes.
live jam.
Mm-hmm.
So how has the transition been from lockdown era to kind of new normal?
It's weird because it's like at the same time it feels so sudden, but also it feels like it took a long time to get here. But yun nga, parang kailan lang 2-3 years ago. It doesn't seem like a long time, pero grabe, hindi tayo lumalabas talaga, and everyone just was streaming at home or ano. Pero iba pa rin kasi talaga yung yung having an audience in front of you, singing in front of people, hearing the applause, having that exchange of energy. You can't replicate that through just cameras and screens and stuff like that, through live streaming and everything. But yeah, it made me really appreciate the concept and the essence of live performance talaga. I think that's the main thing, because when you have it, when it's the norm and it's taken, you don't really appreciate it. But once it's taken away from you, that's when you feel like, oh my God, I miss performing in front of actual people and hearing actual applause. Like I think the first time hearing, like performing in front of a audience again, coming back from the pandemic, made me a little emotional. I had this conversation with some of my other singer friends na parang grabe, nakakaiyak no makarinig ng palakpak ulit ng mga tao. So yeah, I'm very, very thankful that things have started to go back to normal, and we've come a long way from the past 2-3 years. So I'm very happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, speaking of making a connection, your unfortunately last song with us is.
Oh, already?
Yeah.
Para kakasimula ko lang
Oh, nga. Unless there's something else you want to share with us before.
Babalik na lang ako. Pag may another single na naman.
Okay, perfect. You're always welcome to the Rappler
So
HQ.
thank you so much.
Sige. So, speaking of connections, your last song is a cover.
Yes.
Eraserhead's Ligaya.
Mhm.
So, of all the songs you could cover, why this one?
This is my favorite Eraserhead song. It's just nostalgic for me because I grew up in the 90s. I'm a 90s kid, and I've always wanted to take something that people wouldn't normally expect from me, because my sound is pop R&B. But I wanted to take a song that's familiar to a lot of people, but put my own spin on it and put my own style. So yeah, that's why I've chosen this song. This is my favorite Eraserhead song.
Perfect. So, thank you so much for being here,
Thank you,
Jason.
Marge.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. This has been the latest episode of Rappler Live Jam, and this is Jason D with his cover of Ligaya.
Thank you, Rappler. Ilang awit pa ba 3 oras na akong nagpapakyut sa'yo, di mo man lang napapansin ang bagong t-shirt ko. Ilang isaw pa ang kakainin o giliw ko? Ilang tansan pa ba ang iipunin o giliw ko? Gagawin ko ang lahat, pati ang thesis mo. Huwag mo lang ipagkait ang hinahanap ko. Sagutin mo lang ako, aking sintay, walang humpay na ligaya, at asahang iibigin ka sa tanghali, sa gabi at umaga. Huwag ka sanang magtanong at magduda, dahil ang puso ko'y walang pangamba. Lahat tayo'y mabubuhay ng tahimik at buong ligaya. Hey! Tu-ru-tu-tu-tu-ru-ru. Hey, hey. Ilang ahit pa ba ang aahitin o giliw ko? Ilang hirit pa ba ang hihiritin o giliw ko? Di naman ako manyakis tulad ng iba. Pinapangako ko sa'yo na igagala ka. Sagutin mo lang ako, aking sintay, walang humpay na ligaya, at asahang iibigin ka sa tanghali, sa gabi at umaga. Huwag ka sanang magtanong at magduda, dahil ang puso ko'y walang pangamba. Lahat tayo'y mabubuhay na tahimik at buong ligaya, at asahang iibigin ka sa tanghali, sa gabi at umaga. Huwag ka sanang magtanong at magduda, dahil ang puso ko'y walang pangamba. Lahat tayo'y mabubuhay na tahimik at buo